Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about Dungeon Meshi, specifically about the way Dungeon Meshi does exposition, and why it should be looked at as the golden standard for expositing to the audience. For those unaware what exposition actually means, it's basically how the writer decides to give information to the audience. The way the writer exposits information to the audience is very important, because expositing to the audience in, let's say, Last Airbender the movie kind of way is absolutely terrible. An example that I can use is the scene where Zhao and Fire Lord Ozai are talking, and Zhao uses the term, as you know. This lets the audience know that Fire Lord Ozai already knows this information, and this is basically just the writer expositing to the audience, because if the character already knows this information, why are you regurgitating it again otherwise? And it makes it very, very unnatural. This is what I would call bad exposition. So because of the writing in that scene basically becomes a little immersion breaking for the audience because of the term, as you know. Also, just really listen to this scene.
As you know, I conducted a raid on the Great Library, which most said didn't even exist.
Get on with it.
People don't talk like this. A good example of okay-ish exposition is used in Naruto when explaining how chakra works to Naruto. Naruto is well known for being kind of an idiot, so someone having to exposit to him, explaining him how the power system actually works, it kind of makes sense. But also the fact that he was able to get out of ninja school without needing to completely know all this makes it kind of weird. Also, the fact that he already knows how to use chakra before people explain this to him makes the scene come off a little sloppy, but not entirely terrible. So this is what I would call like a middle ground kind of exposition, where, yeah, the character's kind of a moron, so you do have to really explain this to him, but also it makes the world kind of weaker, because why is this kid this bad and you're letting him still pass in ninja school, and how is he still able to actually use chakra before it's actually explained to him properly? It's weird, and ultimately kind of brings the world down a little bit because of how silly it kind of is when you think a little too much about it. But ultimately, it's really small and nobody really thinks about it too much. Where good exposition comes in is when exposition is given to a character in the story that knows nothing about the information that is being given to them directly. And it's not weird for them to not know about that thing specifically. It doesn't bring down the world building, and it doesn't make the person seem dumber by contrast. Dungeon Meshi does this perfectly because they have an entire cast of characters, and the party that they have in Dungeon Meshi are uniquely skilled at different things and are lacking in others. So each of the characters can actually give information to each other about different parts of the world that others don't know about. And because of that, our immersion is not broken, like in the situation with The Last Airbender, and it feels very natural and makes sense for the world. A good example is Laios is so knowledgeable about monsters, they can just exposit to the other characters about all the different monsters, and this information is given to the audience in a very natural way. Marcille is a character that knows a lot about magic, and she becomes the audience's line to magic. So whenever the questions of magic comes up in the story, she's always the one who is knowledgeable about it the best, and is able to inform everyone in the party and the audience about magic constantly. Marcille also knows a lot about the magic in the dungeon as well, and understands how the fundamental magic works in the dungeon. She can explain how certain things work to the audience. Meanwhile, Senshi understands the ecosystem in the dungeon better than anyone. Senshi also gives information about the food that you're eating, and gives you fun facts about how to prepare the monsters in the world. And while the monsters in this world are not real, a lot of the information about nutrition and about preparing food is actually real information that you can use in real life. All you really need to do is replace the monster parts with actual food and you're fine. Another fun fact, Dungeon Meshi has a cookbook. Look it up. It's actually pretty awesome. Lastly, we have Chilchuk. Chilchuk is actually someone that is very knowledgeable about people and the upper world. He's the one who pays attention to all the small details in the world as well, like the fact that the dungeon was found about 5 or 6 years ago, while Senshi has been around in the dungeon studying it for 10 years, which is some fun little foreshadowing for the next episode coming out, probably by the time this video comes out. Chilchuk actually is very knowledgeable about like people above ground, the communities, his own views on the people who are like long-lived races, shorter-lived races. He just knows a lot about people in general. Also, since Chilchuk is so well like traveled, he actually knows a lot about different cultures and is actually really informed about different places in the world. He's not super duper informed like Laios when it comes to like monsters, but he knows enough about other cultures where he can like fill in some gaps, and he can actually inform people enough to like add mystery to the world. He's also commonly used as the middleman in the group. While he's not happy about having to eat food, he is the one that helps Marcille kind of ease into eating monster food more often. And he's usually the one that is willing to speak up in the party when others are not. He also keeps Laios in line when it's absolutely necessary. For example, when Laios wanted to eat a fish demi-human, Chillchuck's reaction to this is letting us know that above ground, this is seen as very taboo. So you can actually look at Chillchuck as more as like the everyman of the group. So Chillchuck's reaction is most likely the reaction you're gonna get with people above ground when it comes to certain things happening in their party. And none of this is ever forced in the story. It's always very natural, and I love that about Dungeon Meshi. Information in Dungeon Meshi is only given to the audience when it is naturally time for the characters to talk about the information that they have. So if something comes up, they'll talk about it, but they're not just gonna turn to the audience and just spout out information out of nowhere. However, the characters, no matter how educated they are about the world, food, magic, or monsters, they still lack some information about these things, and their information broadens with the audience members at the same time, and it helps build the mystery of the world and helps build our connection to the characters, because we're in the same place as them when they don't know something. Also, the visuals used to exposit the information in Dungeon Meshi is also very important and is used very, very well. Funny enough, Log Horizon's anime had a really good exposition when it comes to like visual storytelling, because it would actually show you charts and explain things very carefully to the audience. But in season 2, the anime kind of took a nosedive when it comes to the visual quality of stuff and actually had the characters just standing around a room expositing the information needed to understand what's going on. In Dungeon Meshi, they don't have that problem. They actually show you a bunch of charts, little drawings, and they have a bunch of visual storytelling that you can actually see on screen, so they take full advantage of the visual medium of anime and manga. Anyway, if you enjoyed my video talking about exposition in Dungeon Meshi, let me know in the comments down below. Personally, I have a lot more things to talk about Dungeon Meshi. I love Dungeon Meshi. So, I've been reading the manga, I got the guidebook, I've been watching the show, I'm all in on this story. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. Thank you to my Twitch subs, and if you want to help me out and have your name read at the end of the video, please use the thanks feature here on YouTube, or subscribe to my Twitch, link in the description. Thank you to Tokabell, KRB, Average Gamer _, The Rhyme Hero, Aeon Forge, That's Just Ash, Sias 93, Van Hoevenstein, Bewulu 83, RJ Has Problems, Deal! Thank you to Roberto Games, thank you to Gracie _, and thank you to Wisteria Hysteria. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.